I think we have seen since December a number of changes on the political scene in countries like Tunisia, Egypt, and a number of other countries where protests have been held. I think that overall it's a positive trend towards democracy and to establish a democratic framework for the countries to actually have the voice of the people actually being reflected in the decisions and in the establishments. And I think overall, I think this is a very positive development because it will also foster economic growth. There will be a transitional timetable or a transitional framework which could take between a year to 18 months before we see the growth coming back. A number of these countries are dependent on tourism, on export services, on terms of attracting for FDI, which means foreign direct investment, into infrastructure. But there are a number of countries which are still very healthy and stable. And whilst there has been some political upheaval, I think overall it's moving in the right direction. The European countries have well received it. Without mentioning any particular names, I think the US, the European countries are generally advocating democratic change and have been very supportive. So I think overall this is a political wake-up call, and I think it is moving in the right direction to go for democracy. The one thing which has actually revolutionized the changes which are occurring is social media like Facebook, like Twitter, and other social media tools. And I think that that means that a number of people are empowered to actually make their voices felt and be constitutionally be able to vote for a change. We're also seeing signs of democracy in countries like Iraq, where the changes are being reflected. So overall, I would say that the Middle East region is moving in the right direction in terms of establishing democratic political institutions for actually governing and making it more transparent to their people. Islamic finance has variations from one country to another. For example, certain things which are acceptable in one country, whether it be in an Asian country like Malaysia, may not be totally acceptable in another country like Saudi Arabia, for example. Bahrain has a very specific set of rules for Islamic banking and finance. They also house AOFI, which is the standard-setting body for accounting and auditing standards for Islamic banking and finance. The central banking regulator, which is the Central Bank of Bahrain, CBB, is a very enlightened regulator in terms of Islamic banking and finance. Bahrain has been, within the Middle East market, the pioneer, I should say, in Islamic banking and finance, and will continue to maintain its lead in terms of its financial innovation, in terms of the international institutions that it has attracted, such as BNP Paribas, Callion, and others who are represented in Bahrain and playing a part in Islamic banking and finance, because Islamic banking and finance is not all about only Islamic financial institutions. A lot of banks like HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Deutsche Bank, and others, BNP Paribas I mentioned, insurance companies like AXA, Allianz, they're all active in their different ways in Islamic banking, finance, and insurance. So I think overall, Bahrain, because of its enlightened regulation and its pioneering framework that it established many years ago, and the training institutes that it has in Bahrain for Islamic banking and finance, continues to maintain a lead at the moment within the Middle East market.